GENSHIN IMPACT. Vamos fazer a QUEST da Deusa. Tem um tempão que eu não faço QUEST aí. Bora fazer essa QUEST aí. Tem todo o título pra fazer ainda. Mas eu vou fazer da Deusa primeiro. Para livrar a missão da Yomiko. Simbora. Tá desbloqueada, mas... Vamos dar início à QUEST da Deusa. Tem dois atos, tem o 1 e o 2 para eu fazer. Eu vou fazer o 1 primeiro, depois vou fazer o 2 ainda. Yomiko. Tem um tempão que eu não faço cast porque... feriadão aí, né? Desculpa aí que eu fiquei fora esse tempão todo aí. Deixa eu editar a capa aqui. Só um segundo. Vou colocar uns personagens overpower aqui. Deixa eu ver quem eu vou colocar. Vou levar assim. Vamos embora. Só um segundo, deixa eu entrar na live de novo para ver os comentários, se tiver algum comentários. Esse tá bom. Tá bom.
Stabilize.
Ah, vai tomando, mano. Tá louco, não para não. Tá louco.
It's you two. It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing!
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the...
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tricon. But Rift Hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build, the monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil. And the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby.
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about this color. It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage.
Vou ter de colocar o rapazinho do vento.
Sounds good to me.
We may leave at any time.
Colocar o shield.
Keep your eyes wide open.
Bora.
Let's follow it. It should be this way.
We are lucky.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh? What's this? The baby dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey. But why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you, we will defend Inazuma until our dying breath. You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be...
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now the almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's... the Shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save... Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you mean?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace. As you will know, there are no monsters. Nor is there anything else here that could threaten your...
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Huh. I think I understand. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
What's wrong with him?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even be...
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was the sacred Sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley line. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly purified. Filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago. Yes, Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others... The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, but my friend, Kitsune Saigu, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened.
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect them. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day. Both.
Hey,
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring all my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time.
Beleza, Deck?
Powerless to keep the ones I
Tô
cherished.
fazendo a primeira quest da Deusa. E é a quest antiga. É do primeiro capítulo ainda.
After my clash with human ambition, when I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries.
Tô fazendo quest
A
antiga.
glimpse moving forward Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to
Sim,
keep
sim, eu
fighting
tô vendo
for the sake of
que a
moving
amiga dela
forward.
morreu, né? No passado.
All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future.
Tô lendo aqui.
But
A amiga dela
perhaps
sacrificou na
the future
amiga lá
they were
pra
hoping
salvar
for
Inazuma, né?
is not the
Inazuma.
eternity that I once strove for. As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
he's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
É, sim, sim.
Time to go.
As expected, there are a load of rings
Carinha
out here
chato.
too.
Ai, eu fiquei com
Leave
saco com a
them to
Deusa.
me.
Pera aí.
Torn to oblivion!
E vem mais.
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Ah, louco. Travou e tudo aqui.
Huh? Something seems wrong with A.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go! No?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Ah, makes sense. Spoken like a seasoned... The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely... Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Furuyama?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews...
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do? Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's...
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So, I decided to stay. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then? People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets. The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories, I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears. So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the Almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the Almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled... Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself. I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But... well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Beijinho foi embora.
Go to find a tea set. Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but at the same time, this lovely old man.
I'm also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh, why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
Vou. Tá pra mim?
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the...
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No, no, no. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings. They are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This... now... it seems like she was right. While I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature and will be replaced by a new Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place.
That's... quite...
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was all...
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity. But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been...
Almighty Shogun! I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's...
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Time to go.
Deu uma reputaçãozinha aqui. Que é pra tirar a foto dela. De amizade.
looking for Atisa himself, would he?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long. As was the case with the memory we saw.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with. Well, this chat I've watched food. The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it. You're right. But the things we've seen today, I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Konria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would... Yes. It was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Konria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it...
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, and it's time I came to terms with it all.
While we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Sister? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the Kanria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
Quando desligou.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing.
Controle
By the
desligou.
time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced great...
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the tea master. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last. once again. Please leave them to me.
Hey! Are you sure you're alright?
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
What the fuck?
Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Remove all obstacles.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength. We'll deal with the monsters.
Você não cuida de nada, ô cara de bunda.
Look, that's the same light again.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too! Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, man. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak,
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the dark.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the Almighty Shogun!
Barbados! Dallas!
Tidal wave.
Opa! Vai escrevendo aí, deixando aquele like maroto aí, que ajuda demais aí o canal crescendo aí.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep
I'm fine. I feel...
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
É, vocês estão mortos, hein?
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always...
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I...
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
Sumiram.
They're gone.
A promessa que você fez ainda agora foi para eles.
It was both.
Ambos.
The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, the result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their... You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but even so, they are due a resolution.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now. And
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon. And I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first and foremost a warrior. And my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one.
well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This, no matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, This matter is halfway resolved. It does not. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then. It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up! What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... It looks like the situation is more serious than I thought. No need. She is calling me. Can you help me walk? I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past. And
Vai dizer que ela ver a irmã dela, né? Dá pra subir aqui? Deu pra subir.
Time to go. Time to go.
Ah, nunca vi que havia antes.
Brings a smile to my face.
Caraca. Ai, ai.
Time to go. Into the wind.
Should be nice.
One with nature. The wind knows me.
We're finally here. The entrance should be nearby.
Whoa! Where'd the Tory gate come from?
It's getting worse again. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to... It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
Será que é o boss semanal? Tá?
Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into this time? Whoa. This place... Look! Look over there! It's another A!
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait! Paimon knows that voice! Is that... the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct. But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Wait! The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse!
E aí, Pitbull? Beleza?
Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes.
Mais ou menos. Mais ou menos.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Ah, o problema é que eu tenho vários jogos instalados agora, velho.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but hey, showdown with the Shogun?
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my... I would not try to change...
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something?
Sim, zerei ele já. Só que tô querendo fazer uma missão lá de 200 cash. E eu acho que tô quase terminando, velho. 200 cash.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive and it inherits A's pain. The pain of inevitable loss that
Master.
Every action undertaken is for the sake of determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and only rules shall remain constant for eternity. Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice. You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity. And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Write an A. In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni maiden was cut down and disgraced. Though your blade has been cleansed of her,
Eu vou usar ela sozinha.
never shall it shine
Cadê o
as brightly as
principal?
it once did.
Nossa, velho. Que é isso? Ah, começou a apelação, velho. É o Shield? É o Shield.
Evasion disputed. Torn to oblivion.
Ah, fala sério.
Dead. There is no escape. Absurd. Pathetic. Shine down. Now you shall perish. This cycle of losses that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
Ai, foda. Tá com pena na vida. A bicho voltou a vida todinha. Terminei as ilhas já.
Absurd! Illusions are but destruction. Illusion shattered.
Que porra é essa?
Thunder. Now you shall perish. The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma
Ah, o que fazer?
Into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Stillness transcending.
Vou comer aqui antes que ela morre. Falta eu entregar o mundo de alguém e fazer os eventos de corrida. Pegar pelo menos 700 gemas que falta. Ah, sim. Eu não fiz ainda não, o evento ainda não. Vou fazer ainda. Preguiça demais de fazer as coisas. Tô esperando no último momento pra fazer.
The eye sweeps the land.
De novo?
Shattered.
Ah, tá doido.
Only emptiness awaits.
Have you finally defeated her?
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong? In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living beings, including you and me.
Then, does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking, one that will be resistant to erosion. If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must fight, 500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices. It is about time that I learn to trust them. I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, it is but a drop in the ocean. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Deu merda. Vamos lá conversar com a Miko.
Looks like we got kicked out. What do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep it? It's making sense. And maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... Right? What if she gets too obsessed with winning and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen, and then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should help her. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the... Well, whatever. Oh, but we also... Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel time on now. Okay. Maybe if we both ram into it at the same time. Oh, you're right.
Ô, mulher minha chata, viu, velho? Essa Paimon, viu, velho? Ô, menina chata.
Another bad one?
600 de rank.
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's she...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to impossibly stubborn. Jump straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Aha, you're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura. And from what I've heard, it's a...
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer a...
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like? Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to the... Now then, I always have my ways. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness, in other words, even...
So,
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Everything is turbulent
Deu
and
caos.
disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of Euphania, it's much safer if you...
What? Alright, well, I'm on stage you then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Bruno's had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine!
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course... I say... Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door is open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake, and for Inazuma's, please, bring her back.
Nico, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Vai ver o bonecão? O boss. Vamos ver se vai ver o boss. Um que coloca Paimon.
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Agora vai virar um bonecão, hein?
Huh? How can this... You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? So you're finally... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new.
Vou brigar com ela de novo sozinha, velho. Pera aí, vou comer um pouquinho aqui primeiro. Vou me matar aqui. Beleza. Uma defesa aqui básica. Meu dano de raio. Pronto. Ih, ó, virou um bonecão. Isso não vale. É infinito?
Witness the final calamity. Purge all obstacles. Perish.
Morreu. Olha o bonecão aí.
This is the end. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future. And you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Musa. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned everything happened so suddenly. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you. A little at a... Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Here, take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future. Nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, A? I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, This sacred sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
Show.
So the A of the present planted the sacred sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time...
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary... Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to... And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that...
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
E bugou a voz.
Without the sacred sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's connection between the sacred sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred sakura hadn't even been planted.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to...
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately...
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
but the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I would...
Hey, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never...
Makoto said the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward.
Estou ansioso. Mãe, a tomate não apronta mais. Ó, liberamos a Shogun. Batalhar com ela. Agora liberamos a Imiko. Liberei a Imiko. Pelo jeito a Imiko fica aqui, né? Bem mico. Agora, onde a caixa dele me começa? Começa lá? Eu vou dar uma ida lá, velho. Só pra ver como começa a cache dela. Poder fazer a cache do carinha também. Quantas horas agora? 28. Tem 2 horas e meia que comecei a live.
We haven't been to the Yai Publishing House in a while. Paimon wonders if they have any new books in. The one we read with A that time is pretty.
Come on, this is a no-brainer, man. There's only one thing worth wishing for, and that is a ton of Mora.
But the exam's next week. If I fail again, I'm seriously done for. I'm better off wishing that—
It's just an exam. Trust me, there's no problem you can't solve by throwing Mora at it.
What are they arguing about? It's quite a spirited debate.
Huh? Really? You guys, you need but stand on this land at midnight, lower your head and recite a special incantation, then your wish will come true. Looks like you guys really aren't in the loop. This, my friends, is the next big thing. A highly effective wish ritual.
A wish ritual? That actually works? Right? Even Paimon knows that's just not how—
I didn't believe it at first either, but that changed when it worked for someone I know. It's this guy called Kunihiko. He's practically always been unemployed, wastes his days away, and he owes a lot of money. Like a lot. But get this, I don't see— I heard it directly from him. He used this wishing ritual, and the next day he—
His whole bed was filled with— Wow!
Of course, I'm sure the part about waking up lying on a bed of Mora is a bit of an whether you believe it or not, it's not exactly a—
If you're still feeling skeptical, just ask around. There are a lot of very compelling stories going around these days.
Really? Well, come on! Let's go ask around right now, shall we? Well, if it really is true, then just think of all the Mora Paimon could— Oh, and—
Beleza. Tem 2 caches aqui que eu me lembro. Tem a do touro, 200 metros. E essa cache aqui da bichinha.
closer inspection, it seems like they're—
Grasp the thought in mind. Clear like the light of the—
No, it's not hear my summons, it's heed my summons.
Hey! What are you guys up to?
Whoa! You scared me. Okay. Okay.
Incantation? Are you guys trying out this new wishing ritual stuff too?
Junkichi is trying it out to be specific. I mean, I obviously don't. But Junkichi never listens to an outside opinion.
Mr. Shigeru, can you please be a little more— People have had all kinds of wishes come true. Become more attractive, get rich quick, ace their studies. I'm just a poor, Anyway, I just know this is going to—
Didn't you say the same thing when you went to make your wish at the Grand Narukami Shrine? Oh, I just know this is gonna—
The Omamori from the shrine take too long to have any effect on your luck.
Look, to be completely honest, I think you need to sit down and have a good think about. Look at you now, trying dubious methods.
Wait. What? This wishing ritual comes from...
Yep, it's from the one called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. No, it's most likely a self-published title. It just appeared out of nowhere and took Inazuma by storm. As a fellow writer, I'll refrain from passing comment on how well the story is written, but it...
Look, Chukichi. Yes, everyone's saying it's real, it works, but that's only half the story. I've also heard lots of people...
What's so surprising about that? They're probably just giddy with joy at having their wish come true.
This is starting to sound... Why don't we go to the Grand Narukami Shrine and ask Yaimi? She's the expert when it comes to both light novels...
Sobrenatural. Não lembro de que eu fiz a quest da deusa, não. Pra mim tem o ato 1 e o ato 2.
Well, hello there, young ones. What brings you to the shrine? It just so happens that I have a wonderful... Oh? Well, what did you want to ask?
Well, we were just... actually, you look kind of...
No, not at all. It's nothing major.
Lady Guji, what do you mean, nothing major? I'm begging you, you've got to help me save my brother.
It really is nothing major. I stand by that. But since you're so curious, let's have him relate the story one more time. Just...
You two seem to have a good relationship with Guji-ai. Please, put in a good word for me. You have to convince her to help my brother. Here's what happened. My name is Kato Yohei, and my brother is Kato Shingo. All he's ever wanted is to become a swordmaster, so he once asked Sensei Domon of the Meikyo Shisui art to take him on as a disciple. Domon turned him away, took one look at him and said he didn't have what it takes to train in the art of the sword. But my brother wasn't about to resign himself to defeat. He trained every day as hard as he could, and finally proved himself by defeating one of Domon's best disciples in a duel recently. But since his victory, he's been acting extremely strange. It's like he's become a completely different person. The doctors can't find anything wrong with him, so I'm...
You know, there really aren't as many evil spirits lurking around as you seem to think. Your brother achieved the goal he'd been striving toward for as long as he can remember, and now it's gone. It's only natural that he feels a little empty and lost while he's trying to find... If it were me, I'd just leave him be for a couple of days. He'll recover on his own soon enough.
No, Lady Guji. If you saw him for yourself, you'd know. I guarantee you, he's not acting like someone who feels empty and lost.
Oh, all right. Then tell me, when did your brother spar with Domon's disciple?
About 5 days ago.
5 days ago?
Yes, Lady Guji. That's a long time for him to be acting up like this. I'm really worried about him. Our greatest wish is to one day found our own school, just like Domon. We can't—
Wait a minute, now I'm a little confused. Are you here to save your brother, or are you here to make your dreams of founding a martial arts school come true?
Well, they're kinda two sides of the same coin, aren't they?
Whatever. Let me ask you this. Have you heard of any interesting new rumors lately? If so, I'd...
What? Rumors? I haven't heard anything.
Oh dear.
Lady Guji, please stop changing the subject.
Miko, he seems really desperate. This thing with his brother sounds really bad. Come on, you should help him.
Okay, fine. Then it's decided.
Yay, Miko! So you're gonna help him?
Kato, whatever your name was, these two guests are trusted acquaintances of mine, and in fact, they are experts in resolving all manner of strange and supernatural.
Yeah! Wait a sec!
Really?
Is that hesitation that I detect in your voice? So let me get this straight. You come begging to me for help, I actually recommend someone for the job.
Not at all. Never. Whatever Lady Guji says, I trust wholeheartedly. Thank you two for your willingness to help. Please follow me.
Now hold on a hot second, Miko! We may be a lot of things, but we ain't exorcists!
Don't worry. If he wants an exorcism, just grab a handful of salt and mutter some mumbo-jumbo while you're sprinkling it around. It's a common trope in light novels, right? You just have to have a bit of bravado. As soon as the protagonist gains self-confidence, everything else just magically falls into place. Well, you were the ones who seemed concerned about his situation. Don't you think it would be a little unfair to make me do all the work? Besides, we both know you wouldn't be here at the Grand Narukami Shrine unless you had a...
This feels all wrong!
Alright, let's go.
Okay, let's follow Yohei. What is going on here? Granted, you can never be quite sure what's going on in Miko's mind, but she seems even more disinterested than usual in Yohei's situation. Well, a life's at stake here, so it looks like we'll have to deal with that first before we'll get the chance to ask her about the incantation stuff.
Run with nature. Amateur mistake. To the ferry. Into the wind. No. Time to go.
How strange. My brother's been...
Meditating?
Yeah, it's something that he suddenly started doing after defeating Doma. But that's not important, right?
This does pose a bit of a problem. If we can't find your brother, well, Kato, whatever your name was, given the circumstances, why don't you start by going to find your brother, and also picking up a hand...
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm on it.
Miko, what about us? Shouldn't we help look for his brother?
No.
Time to go.
Hello, sir. We'd like to ask you about the Kato brothers.
Oh, are you debt collectors? Yohei said to tell you not to worry. He'll be able to pay you back as soon as he has enrolled a few disciples.
Huh? Debt collectors? No, but it sounds like Yohei and Shingo have gotten themselves into a...
Well, yes. I don't think there's any disputing that. Those two don't have an ounce of dedication between them. They just hop between ideas and won't stick to anything.
Huh? But Yohei said his brother has always wanted to become a sword master, and even asked Domon to be his sensei.
That's true, yes. Shingo begged Domon to take him on, and eventually, he finally relented. But even after convincing a renowned sensei to give him a chance, he was... In the end, Domon had had enough and kicked him out. But Shingo was resentful about it. He blamed Domon.
Wait, what?
Oh, how interesting. We heard a slightly different version. My brother wasn't about to resign himself to defeat. He trained every day as hard as he could and finally proved himself by defeating one of Domon's best disciples in a duel recently.
Yohei said that? That Shingo trained hard. That's ridiculous. He just lay there cussing to high heaven all day, every day. Yohei did tell me about Shingo winning the fight, but I took it with a grain of salt. You can ask Kenji at the village.
Oh, you mean Shingo and Yohei?
Yeah, we heard that Shingo defeated an apprentice of Domon's recently.
Yes, it's true. Wait, so are you here because you heard they're starting their own school and you're looking to sign up?
We're not here to sign up, but we would like to hear more details about the fight.
Well, you've come to the right person. I actually went to watch it. I thought it was a joke when I first heard that Shingo was going to challenge a disciple of the Meikyo Shisui art. But when he drew his sword, oh, he became a whole the way he handled his blade, it was like flowing water. Mesmerizing to watch.
Is Shingo really that strong?
Yep, he seemed pretty euphoric after winning the duel too. He was celebrating very vocally, saying something like, "What a duel. I haven't felt this good in a long time."
Any other details to share? We've heard that
I'd definitely say that he has more energy than he used to. In the past, he never used to do much except lie around sunbathing all day. But just yesterday, for example, I saw him cutting down trees for the village head. In the space of one afternoon, he did what most people couldn't finish in 3 days. Not only that, but he managed to fell a lavender melon tree with just one kick. Things got weird after that, though. The village head brought out some tofu for him, and he just flipped out. He shouted, "What is that stuff? Keep that away from me!" and then ran off.
Lady Guji, esteemed exorcists. Fine, I found my brother. He's at the waterfall, and I've got the salt you asked for, too. Come on, let's go!
As much as I'd prefer to stay and hear some more delicious details, I suppose we'd better be going now that he's been found.
Ai, tá do outro lado, velho.
Time to go.
It's my lucky day.
Wind and cloud. One with nature. Tidal wave. Time to go. Time to go.
Look over there. That's him at the waterfall.
So this is Yohei's brother. Whoa. He's meditating while sitting in a waterfall. That's pretty wild. Hey, listen! He's talking to himself.
Woohoo! How's that? Can you feel the feeling of men? Found your own school. Ha! So shallow. How can a manly man aspire to... please, spare me. Spare me. I can't feel the manliness. I can't even feel... I can't take any more. I'm gonna die. Yohei. Yohei!
Did you hear that? All the nonsense aside, he's going for help!
Huh? Who?
He stood up! And now he's coming this way!
No, don't come any closer. Help!
What do we do? Miko, think of something!
Oh, poor thing. Yohei, your brother's life is hanging in the balance, and he's using his final breaths to call on you for help. Whatever shall we do?
Well, how...
The way it looks to me is that Shingo feels terribly resentful to you about something. Would you mind telling me what that's all about?
I don't know what to tell you. I don't...
You don't know? But surely you should have more insight than anyone else into how your brother came to be this way? Yohei, I suggest you think very carefully before you open your mouth again. This... Your brother is your closest relative. You must have noticed straight away when he started acting out of character. And yet, 5 whole days pass before it occurs to you to come and seek help from me. You really expect me not to notice the gaping holes in your story?
But,
As you wish. It's fine by me if you don't want to tell the truth. But after Shingo dies, you'll be next. It's futile trying to escape. Anywhere in the world you run to, it will be right behind your back. After all, you did summon it together.
Alright, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. My brother and I used a wishing incantation. We made a wish. Yes, that's it! The one that's all the rage right now. You just have to recite an incantation at midnight and your wish will be granted. Just like the book described, we drew the magic symbol, stepped in. After my brother wished to become a swordmaster, it really worked. Out of nowhere, he suddenly had these amazing sword skills. But his whole personality, because I was worried that if he goes back to normal, he'll lose his skills. If that happens, it'd ruin our plans to start a martial arts school, and we'd be back.
So then, why'd you go to the...
Well, because with the way he's acting now, I was worried that rumors might start spreading that he's gotten involved in the occult arts or something. And then no one would want to sign up as his disciple. So I was thinking that maybe Lady Guji might have a way to get my brother back to normal, but...
My, look at you with your ingenious schemes. Stop deluding yourself. These newfound sword skills are not his. They belong to the...
You're right. We were wrong to do what we did. We had this...
All right, then. Your turn now, my little friend. Toss the salt, and then draw your sword.
It's the spirit!
See that? That's what you summoned. And look, now that Shingo's no use, it's coming straight for you. nothing. But you, little one, just a quick fight and this will all be over.
Who's this? Come on, fight me!
He's coming! Be careful!
Compared to the storms I've encountered out at sea.
Wait, hear me!
Cheap tricks.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Deu uma coisa me dando raio de longe.
I haven't felt this great in a long, long time.
He disappeared! But he looked pretty content at the end there.
Ó o raio caindo pertinho.
Well, Paimon sure is confused. Do you know what that was all about?
We can talk about it later. They're about to...
Shingo, are you alright?
Yohei, I had the weirdest I dreamed that I wasn't a useless loser with a sword anymore. I even beat one of them. I thought we could finally open a dojo of our own now. But then I realized I couldn't control my own. I was terrified, and I wanted to take it.
Shingo, we shouldn't have made that wish. We summoned a spirit and it...
Yes, and had we not come to your rescue, your life would have been over before...
Thank you, Lady Guji. And thank you for your assistance,
Esse é
exorcism
raizinho
experts.
dos caras.
All right, take him to get some rest. He will experience a high fever, but it won't be fatal. At this point, I would normally lecture you on the dire consequences of using occult methods to obtain power that does not belong to you. But I...
Yes, we understand now. We won't...
Thank you, Lady Guji. We'll be on our way then. Come on.
É, ficar aprontando dá nisso, né?
Nico, would they really have lost their lives if we hadn't gotten him? And if so, why the heck were you so reluctant to help out?
They would have... I had to scare them a little.
So, what was it that possessed Shingo?
You saw it all for yourselves. I'm sure you can figure out what kind of spirit had possessed him, can't you?
Paimon's got it. It wasn't Owen.
Correct. Although it possessed Shingo, it didn't have any ill intentions. As a matter of fact, it actually seemed like it was trying to train Shingo to become bolder.
Huh. Fair enough. But it seems like it had the opposite effect.
Tossing salt caused it to temporarily leave Shingo's body. Then, you exhausted its strength by fighting it, so it disappeared. Even if we'd done nothing at all, Shingo would have eventually become too weak for his body to host the spirit, and it would have left of it. Of course, it would have been more stressful for Shingo and Yohei that way.
Well,
All right, seems like we've wrapped up everything here. Come on, off we go.
Hold on, Miko. You say everything's wrapped up, but are you sure about that?
You mean you disagree? Oh, you mean that they got the incantation from that book? Yes, I know the one.
Actually, that book's the whole reason we came looking for you at the shrine today. Incantations seem really
Human beings don't have powers like us yokai. It's quite understandable for them to be interested in...
That's not the point. The problem is that the incantations in the book are actually capable of summoning spirits and stuff.
Even then, humans only have so much strength. Even if they do successfully summon a spirit with the incantation, it won't stay with them for very long.
But wrote this book? And why? Don't we think there might be a bigger saint? What do you think, Traveler? Well, when you put it that way, she has been pretty trustworthy so far. She said from...
Lady Yai!
Kuroda, what are you doing here?
I'm here to report on Yai Publishing House's sales for the last month. All the numbers are here. Please.
Let me see. What? We're
Yes. Overall bestseller, reader's favorite, and trending ranking. We're being beaten in all categories. One book is topping the charts. It's called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning...
Both of you, back here now!
Nico? What is it? You have a really scary look on your face.
Things just got serious. A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits is an all-round hit, summarily beating the novels of the Yai Publishing House by every analysis. Just what is that supposed to mean? I worked extremely hard to promote our latest featured work, and now a rival book comes out of nowhere and steals our thunder. If this isn't the very definition of intolerable, I don't know what is. I have to come up with a counterplan, and you are going to help me.
Huh? How is this our problem all of a sudden?
Paimon, please. Who wrote this book and why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? Am I to take it that the safety of the people of Inazuma is...
Wait! What just happened? Again, you technically have a point, but...
Nothing's wrong, okay? Come on. We're going to war. I'm going to head back and make some prep.
Nossa, ela vai brigar por causa de livro.
With the wind. Alright, Nico. We're here. So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the Yai Publish... Oh, wow. Your first guess and you got it absolute wrong.
Yeah! Wait! Seriously?
A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits is the hottest light novel right now, in bending over backwards.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh!
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower...
But that means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've read a first... The book contains many... I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market. That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing. So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel. Smash our rival's sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Yai Miko wages war. Incidentally, This will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summon.
Wait, Miko. So you want us to write a novel?
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. I did say this is what we're going to do. Anyway, there is a writer submission event. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
The Yai public, the winner gets a...
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into these days, though, everyone seems to be imitating. The only recent book worth mentioning is, not only is it a good story...
Comecei com...
The key to a successful light novel, when to use good illustrations can make... There's a saying that light novel, the illustrations in a first-hand guide...
I'll be honest. In most traditions, by contrast, the protagonist is...
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell our findings to Yai Miko.
Aqui dentro?
There you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Satomi is Yai Publishing House's ace in the hole. They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks a first-hand...
It definitely...
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences. All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of real...
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example,
Before you can answer that question, take a first-hand guide to summoning spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the Kitsune. As a traveler, there must be a great many...
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from Paimon... But that would make it a completely different genre than...
Not at all. You don't... As long as the core
Alright, let's start with chapter 1 then. What do you think? sounds like a great one! Let's see here. The protagonist arrives in Mondstadt for the first time to the sight of a dragon flying around and wreaking havoc.
Essa é a minha história.
With the help of some trusty companions, the protagonist successfully defeats the dragon. But then, the dragon suddenly turns into a beautiful young woman. Huh? Human, let us work together to build a better future. The love story between human and dragon begins today? Well, that was an unexpected development. What happened to the grand adventure? What? But that's so misleading.
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9. The story certainly goes in an unorthodox direction, and the Dragon Girl sounds destined to be a hit character. Approved.
What the heck?
Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really... Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept.
That's good. Okay, we're done with Chapter 1. Let's move on to Chapter 2.
Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the good... Hurry, Chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
Huh? What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence. Writer's block. It's your arch nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back. When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a... boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Pra minha conta.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up. Ooh! Does this mean your inspirations come back? The protagonist awakes to find themselves turned into a geo-bishop hatchling, surrounded by countless adventurers. But then, the protagonist suddenly discovers that they have a special ability. Keep rolling to keep evolving! So the protagonist rolled and rolled and rolled, hoping to evolve into the strongest geo creature ever. So, the protagonist is no longer a human, huh? Good luck retconning that after chapter 1.
I give it a 9.5. Monster evolution is an increasingly common theme these days. What started out as a rather niche genre has gradually worked its way into the mainstream. And I wouldn't worry about the continuity issue. All we have to do is explain at the beginning of the work that the protagonist can travel between different worlds.
Ugh, no integrity whatsoever.
The most important thing is that it's fun. In light novel...
You do kinda have a point.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Salve! Play! Salve aí, play! Eu tô aqui ouvindo, vendo a história aqui da Coco, da Yomiya. Imika, é? Imika, pá. Terminar essa aqui, eu vou deixar o resto amanhã. Eu tenho terminado o touro ainda, que é do título.
We can use the Vision Hunt decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
When the Vision Hunt decree comes out of nowhere, the protagonist joins the Resistance, starting out as an ordinary rank-and-file soldier. Find out how the protagonist goes on to make great contributions to the war effort, become best
Vou
friends
escrever uma história aqui.
general, and get to know the Guji of the Grand Narukami. It's surprisingly normal.
I think it's rather good. A lot of people still like the classic hero's journey, from ordinary soldier to great leader, a fresh take on a timeless classic. One thing though, we'll need to rewrite the part about me giving you the Omamori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should...
Whoa. So we're really going head-to-head with our rival on this one.
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirit?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact
Vai inscrever no canal, velho. Deixando aquele like aí, que ajuda o canal a crescer também.
A first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yai Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation.
Pitbull.
Once our light novel is complete,
Amanhã, se quiser nós jogar junto aí de vez em quando, pra procurar baú na Ilha Nova lá, porque eu não tenho umas partes das ilhas lá que não explorei ainda não. Amanhã eu vou fazer... Eu vou explorar o mapa. Assim, podia ser mais interessante, né? Eu tô fazendo livro, né? Tô fazendo livro pra concorrer com romance lá. Eu tenho que fazer do Tito ainda. Falta só uma missão pra mim agora, eu acho. Se eu terminar da Emiko, vai faltar só uma aqui, ó. Vai faltar só desse carinha aqui. O Tito. Aí amanhã cedo, eu vou terminar ela. E amanhã à tarde eu vou fazer a exploração. pegando os baús lá do mapa. Porque do evento eu já acabei, né? Os baús do evento. Terminei o evento da ilha. Só que tem o que eu não explorei ainda, o mapa ainda direito lá, entendeu? O mapa da ilha eu não explorei tudo ainda não.
But since it's Lady Gucci that's asking, with Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collab. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letter. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from may your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yai Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Vou te mostrar aqui, ó. Deixa eu mostrar aqui melhor. Aqui, ó. Pega triângulo. Aqui, ó. Tem dois tipos de mapa. Tem desse aqui, né? É o mapa da... o primeiro mapa, né? Que não é... Tem o evento, que é o mapa normal. E o mapa do evento, que tem do portal. Tá vendo? Que esse aqui já explorei todo já. Esse aqui já explorei todo. Mas a economia, eu acho que é assim que fala. Eu não explorei esse mapa aqui não, ó, essa parte aqui. Esse mapa aqui, ó lá, tá vendo? Tem um teleporte pra mexer aqui ainda, ó. Tem um teleporte pra acender aqui aí. Tento usar o Discord no PC. Pelo navegador. Então, vou baixar aí no Discord aí. Não sei se vai dar certo. Tem um povo aí tá me mandando convite pra mim. Aqui eu explorei ainda não. Tá vendo aqui, ó? Tem um teleporte também pra explorar. Tem 3 teleportes na verdade. Tem um aqui e 2 aqui. Esse mapa aqui já explorei. Esse mapa aí é o que é o início, né? Aqui mais ou menos, explorei mais ou menos. Eu acho que eu tenho que dar uma conferida. Igualzinho aqui, ó. Nesse lugar aqui pode ter alguma coisa que eu marquei. Né? É isso que eu tô falando com você. Aí é foda, né, velho? Tá com esse problema ainda? No aplicativo?
Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry?
Vamos tentar. Vamos pegar amanhã então. Você me ajuda amanhã.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Uh-oh.
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly...
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
É, só tem pra celular mesmo. Aguarde 3 dias. Beleza. Três dias? Aí. 3 dias atual, tá lá. Encheu de chato da porra. Mais um dia. Qual 4 dias. A lojinha tocou agora, viu, velho? Agora, eu acho. é perigoso não dar certo, tem que esperar 4 dias no meio. Ah, louco, 3 dias. Beleza. Ó, deu certo, deu certo.
Ah, you've all finally made it. Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Woohoo! That's great!
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
Oh yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to... We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do...
Oh, don't worry. The change is already... Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has...
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at midnight, and your wish will come true!
Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations.
The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of Mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just wait.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus! But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line.
There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah. If we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed, but when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book. Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively saw. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Aroumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a true..."
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So, what do we...
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest itself. And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role. Oh, what are you talking about?
Beleza. Pelo jeito que eu vou jogar com a Nico. Vou ter que tirar um personagem aqui. Vou ter que tirar a Rantal. Não vou tirar a Rantal não. Vou colocar. Qual o shield aqui?
Keep your eyes wide open.
Aqui tá bom. Depois tenta usar o Discord no PS4 pelo navegador. Vou sair aqui, vou dormir, tenho que trabalhar amanhã. Beleza, boa noite pra você aí, velho. Bom trabalho amanhã. Amanhã nós jogamos junto aí. Eu tô terminando aqui, eu vou terminar aqui também, vou fechar a live também.
The ideal spot for a little meet and greet.
Really? But it feels so eerie.
What are you so afraid of, honestly?
Paimon's heart is pounding. Hey, wait up! Paimon.
Com certeza eu vou jogar com ela, né? Aí eu vou. Lá já tenho ela, lá, né? Vou dar as pancadas lá com ela. Aí eu vou botar só o Tito pra fazer as cash.
What a weird painting. Nico, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Probably a scene from ancient Inazuma.
It's a good piece of artwork and all, but it's so... Looks like the artist signed...
Let's go inside and take a look.
Let's get down to business.
Emerge, right here.
This isn't over.
Go!
The fairy, my blade. How's this? There's more.
Quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. Alright, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move. Emerge. Right here. Right now.
emerge. Right here. Trouble. Right now.
Some fury. You're open.
Barbados, guide us.
You're open. Shouldn't let your guard down.
Meu baú, velho. Me perdi. A outra aqui, pra acender.
Let's get down to business.
Come on out. Emerge.
Tidal wave.
Fiz a cagada de abrir. Eu quebrei o jogo aqui. Aqui é a parte que... Tá um negócio pra acender.
Right here. Right here. Emerge.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Right now. Right here. I'm always watching.
Caraca. Mas que tem hora que eu matei o bicho lá. Foi barulho de baú abrindo. Opa! Tá deixando aqui o like, inscrevendo no canal aí. Cadê o trem? Eu vi o trem aqui pra acender. Aqui. Ué?
Whoa. It's that painting we just saw. It's turning this way along with the whole wall. It's getting eerier and scarier. What is this place?
Okay. Next I will show you a secret kitsune spell. This painting is a swift summoning medium, which means the murky mirror reflects the view of Inazuma in a bygone age. Spirits stirred by the sight of the past will be easily drawn to it. You're up next, little one. Come on, sit yourself down here. Yes. The whole point of a summoning ritual is for a dead person's spirit to possess a living person's body. You saw what happened to that Oni samurai spirit. After leaving the host's body, he was only able to maintain—
Are we positive that summoning a spirit to possess the traveler isn't gonna have any lasting negative consequences?
Oh, you really care about the little one quite a lot, don't you? I'm a little jealous. I wish my friends were caring like that. Anyway, are you scared, little friend? Don't you worry now, it'll be over soon. Just think of it like, sit on the chair, stare at the painting, and relax your body and mind. Try and be natural. There's really no need to be nervous.
It's like he's sitting inside the painting. Huh? Is Paimon seeing things? Did the painting just move?
Recite the incantation in your heart, little one. Also, you'll need to have some intense thoughts going through your head. Now, what kind of wish do we think it would take to summon forth the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Anyone?
Probably something to do with
Very good. The wish needs to be heartfelt, though, so let me help add a little realism to the equation. The book is selling exceptionally well, Traveler, but we're going to need an outline for Chapter 4 as soon as humanly possible. When is the earliest that you can turn it in by?
The painting is moving again! What the?
I never thought the day would come when I'd be summoned using my own writ. What have we here? Another budding writer? What's come over you all? Why is everyone wishing for help with their writing?
We got you! So you're the one who wrote A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirit. What are you trying to do, Why'd you put that summoning incantation in the book, huh?
Huh? What's this? Oh, I see. No wonder this felt so familiar. I've walked right into your trap, haven't I? You ask me what my game is here? Well, of course. It was to use this incantation as a means for all the souls of the departed yokai to make their glorious return to the world.
What? Paimon knew it!
Oh, did you now? Then how naive of you to let me possess this. I sense, yes, great power within him. Good. Good! With this power, no one shall be able to
Wake up! Quick! Wake up! We gotta stop him!
It is futile. You shall never wake him again.
Hey! Come on, wake up! Don't let him take your mind! Miko, think of something! Miko! You're laughing?
Oh, Rakusai, you haven't changed a bit.
Well, you made the face enough times that I couldn't exactly miss the hint. This is what you were going for, yes? Never one to stand on the sideline? Look what you've done to this little flying one here. Oh, poor thing scared witless.
You were having plenty of fun playing the bad guy a moment ago. Now you're trying to blame it all on me?
Rakusai? Miko, you guys know each other?
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Allow me to formally introduce the author of A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, Urakusa. No, wait. To be more accurate, it's Urakusai's memory.
Memory? But isn't he a spirit?
Ah, spirits, memories. They're just different words to describe the same thing. Something that comes from the late.
Do you remember that recent incident when the Rift Hounds were gnawing at the sacred Sakura's roots? You witnessed human memories leaking from the ley lines, didn't you? Well, since there are human memories in life, yokai possess supernatural powers. And even when they are a shadow of their former self, typically yokai memories survive longer in the world than those of humans.
Indeed. I was wandering around the sacred Sakura's roots when I suddenly heard piqued my curiosity. So I popped inside.
So that's how it happened. But why did you include a summoning incantation?
Oh, little one. Not to toot my own horn here, but when I was alive, I wasn't just another kitsune. No, I was a mighty and powerful Daioku. The memories of other yokai can't possess human bodies, but with this incantation, they can go one last little joyride in the world.
She's trying to say that all the commotion this causes...
Disturbance? I guess you mean that we might leave them with some broken dreams after we leave, hmm? But you know, I actually think that the most admirable thing about human beings is the way that they go out. As for those who would rather draw on external power than seek to improve themselves, it's so when you think about it, you're actually doing the humans a big favor. Miko, you agree, don't you?
Yes.
Alright then. You finally convinced Paimon.
What are you scared of, little one? Don't be deceived by her day-to-day antics. Miko is actually one of the most...
Not only that, Irakusai, but my latest work has beaten that book.
Of course. You were never one to make extra work for yourself where you can help. And yet you went to all these lengths to find my painting room, and even took the trouble to summon me. You were always the one to pick a quarrel with me when we all used to gather around it. All right. You win, I lose. Happy now?
I finally get to hear you say it.
I remember when you were just a little girl.
Oh, Irakusai, how much time do you have left?
Not much. That goes for all. Everyone's quite content in many ways, but they still...
Don't you? When my bell rings, it means the moonless night is upon us.
Great. Wonderful. Fantastic. Miko, it's been nice catching up. But I'd better conserve my energy if I want to stick it out until then. So, I'll be on my way now.
All right.
One last thing, Miko. I just want to know, have you been well all these years?
I've been great, of course. Every day is a happy one. Especially these days. Not only do I have my light novels, but I've also met these two delightfully nosy outlanders. And even A is finally starting to come to her senses. Quite a miracle, given how pig-headed she can be.
Oh, well, great. That's fantastic.
Urakusai, you'd be right at home in this era. A great storyteller and artist like yourself would be the Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. And I would personally be hounding you over your next installment.
He disappeared. Are you awake? How are you feeling?
Are you all there? Here, like last time, repeat after me. Oh, you beat me to it. Looks like your brain is intact. So, your first possession, What was it like? Good. Saves me from having to explain everything again. Hearing Urakusai admit defeat has put me in the most wonderful mood. In return, it's only fair that we make sure to deliver on what they're all hoping for. Yes, though they only represent a tiny proportion of the Since you've come this far, why don't you do one last thing for me,
You cannot be serious, Miko! You guys teamed up to scare Paimon just now. If you think Paimon's gonna do anything you ask for, think again!
Aw, come on. I'm really only asking you to finish what you started. Besides...
Paimon's paycheck? Well, there's no way out now. We're in too deep.
Agora vai ter um espelhinho. Caraca, esse espelho mandou ver esse espelho aqui. Simbora. Terminar essa caixa aqui pra terminar a live.
Well, hello there, my little helpers. So nice of you to join me.
As if we had a choice. We just want our paychecks. So, Miko, what exactly do we have to do to make this Hyakuyaku happen? Also, to be clear, we actually
might sound ominous, but to put it simply, the Hyakyako is just a gathering of the yokai. Back in the day at yokai gatherings, once everyone had had plenty to drink, one by one they'd start. But now, the yokai memories that leak from the ley lines are weak. They are no longer able to fly. So I will be performing a convocation ritual for them, gathering all the wandering memories to. When the time comes, they will gather in the sky above the Grand Narukami Shrine. Once their energy is spent, they will be satisfied and return to where they belong. All the preparations for the ritual have actually been made well in advance. Remember the incantation and the mention of.
Oh, yeah! Something about reciting the secret spells of Lady Kit.
That's the one. Actually, it's not a wish-granting incantation at all. It's a spell to help calm the ley line memories. When that time comes, let's all pitch in and I will start the ritual preparations shortly. First, tell the shrine maidens to leave the mountain. During the Hyakyako, a whole swarm of yokai memories will be hanging around in the air above the Grand Narukami Shrine. After that, I will commence the ritual, and the memories will begin to congregate. This will take some time. The memories are normally dispersed and don't pose a threat. But when their energy is they may see this as an opportunity to try and make it up the mountain. I need you to fend them off so that doesn't.
Alright, got it. Then what?
Well, if at that point you felt like coming to the shrine and getting a close-up view.
Okay, let's get going.
Descend the mountain? Are those Lady
Yep, Miko said the ritual she's gonna perform soon might pose a
I see. I'll evacuate everyone right away. What about you?
We'll be taking care of a couple other things for her. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back and do the ritual together.
It seems like Lady Guji places great trust in you. Lady Guji's never allowed anyone else to be in her presence when she's conducted rituals like this in the past. Thank you for helping with the ritual, and good luck.
Don't worry, we're much stronger than... Miko's about to start the ritual. Come on, let's go deal with the monsters down the mountain.
Coitadinha, velho.
Sounds good to me.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Transgressions! Time to go! Out of my sight! Winter shall eventually come. These monsters look really riled up. Yep, let's get rid of them as fast as we can. All right, here they come.
Adorn my night! Run with
fine.
Day. Boom.
Wind, hear me.
Into the wind. Clouds high. Birds call.
The fairy finally got it.
There's so many of them. Come on, you can do it.
I dare you. Watch your step.
To the wind.
Show me what you've got. See what you've got.
My knife.
Fairy.
You're mine. Shouldn't let your guard down.
Alright, that's the last of the monsters. How far along do you think the ritual is? Let's head back to the Grand Narukami Shrine and take a look.
Tô terminando ainda. Acabou. Acabou a cache.
So many! They're everywhere! Huh?
Yes, the memories of the yokai. They haven't been able to relax and soar through the air like this for a long time. Come with me. You all right, little one? You look a little nervous.
It's just, Hyman's never seen anything like this before. Whoa, they've really blocked out the moon!
It does look a little intimidating, doesn't it? But I know them. They may be loud and brash at times, but they are good and brave souls. Even after losing their lives in a brutal war, they have never given in to grief or despair. Alas, their time is short.
Alô?
Do they really have to go?
It's a feast, and all feasts come to an end. Since you're sorry to see them leave, why don't you do the recital along with me? O Hakushin, cause of this enchantment, in reverence I perform this rite.
In reverence, I perform this rite.
To be a guiding light.
The book says, recite the secret spells of Lady Kitsune tonight, and our wishes will come true.
source of this enchantment?
I perform this rite to be a guiding light.
Your unrivaled power will be honored eternally.
Murakusai, you asked if I was doing well. Really, every day is a happy day for me. But watching you all leave now, I can't help but feel a little lonely. Just a little, of course. Just as I thought, the ritual went very smoothly. Thank you both. Oh, I'm great.
But the look on your face just now...
I'm fine, seriously. Really, no. Honest.
Hiko...
Fine. Well, if you're dead set on doing something for me, you can treat me to a meal.
Sure, no problem. A meal it is.
Okay. Well, see you soon then.
Acabou? Não. Espera o dia seguinte.
Today is the day we agreed to treat Miko to a meal. The venue is Uyu Restaurant. Let's go!
No time to lose.
Wait is unbearable. How is the...
It was quite a surprise when the moonless night finally came.
Yeah, that huge black cloud over Mount Yogo that night. It just seemed to form out of nowhere.
But then nothing happened after I made a wish using the method in that...
Yeah... I guess like novels...
That night was definitely the nail in the coffin for the incantations from novels fad. Still, something tells me the...
Huh? Paimon can't see Miko anywhere. Guess she's not out here. Maybe she went inside already. Let's head in.
Ih, Mico. Sério, véi.
Ah, my little friends. There you are.
Miko, what is this? You started eating without us?
I did, yes. You're paying after all. The thought of being able to eat the most expensive dishes and drink the finest sake, all for Ah, boss, see these two faces here? Remember them. They're the ones picking up...
Alrighty.
What's gotten into you? Come on, sit yourself. You have to try this fish. It's found exclusively in the waters around Save. Or maybe you'd rather try this? I know, I know. I normally can't bring myself to drink sake this expensive either. If you don't drink alcohol, that's fine too. There are all kinds of fruit juices covering the whole price spectrum.
Miko, you are outrageous! Last time we were here working on the novel, all you ordered for us was the plainest kushikatsu!
Strange. I remember no such thing. So what? You did offer to treat me to a meal, didn't you? Anyway, I am something of a VIP, you know. Wouldn't you find it embarrassing to treat me anything
Miko, this meal is going to be super expensive! Aren't you afraid we won't be able to afford it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. You can most definitely afford it. They're still printing your light novel by the batch, you know.
What? Aw, darn it! She tricked us into this! Miko was after our Mora from the very beginning!
Oh, by the way, since nobody's wishes came true on the moonless night, so you'll have to come up with something. The deadline is looming. I'm counting on...
Terminei. E aí, Miko?
Thank you for the meal. I thoroughly enjoyed... Oh, did I mention? A saw... I know she can be pig-headed, but it still took me by surprise when she wrote... Ugh, I hardly see what all the fuss is about.
E aqui nós fechamos a live nossa. Aqui tem fogão? Oh, aqui tem fogão, sim. Vai conseguir utilizar ele? Não consigo, né? Ele passa aqui? Passa nada. Tá bem só pra sentar, conversar com o véi. Vamos subir aqui em cima, aqui, dar uma conferida aqui. Assim. Tem uma salinha aqui em cima. Que legal. Antes disso, eu vou dar uma upada no personagem meu aqui. Na Miko minha. Que tá precisando de quê pra upar ela? Precisa dar negócio da deusa. Precisa do negócio da deusa.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Antes de fechar a live, eu vou dar um tirinho aqui. Para finalizar essa live aqui. Para dar um tirinho. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo completar a reputação. Consigo. Chega em 40. Vamos dar um tirinho. Será que vão ter uma chance de vir um dourado? Vem um douradinho, vem. Vem um douradinho. Não veio dourado. Que pena. Que pena, não veio dourado.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Então, galerinha, esse é o vídeo de hoje. Eu acho que é do jogo aqui, tá ouvindo barulho de piano. Então, galerinha, esse é o vídeo de hoje. Obrigado a todos que ficaram até aqui. Se inscreva no canal, dá o like. Quem já é inscrito, deixa aquele like maroto. Quem não for inscrito, se inscreve aí. Já deixa aquele like maroto. E valeu, falou, é nóis. Amanhã tem live aí. Vou fazer cache, diária e exploração. Que é um novo mapa lá que eu não explorei tudo ainda não. Então, fui! Até mais. É nóis. E também tem a cache do Tito. Né? Vou ver se eu faço uma live cedo e uma tarde. Então, valeu, falou, tchau. Fui! Não.